Well, hello everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bryant, and this is Car Chronicles. You guys ready? Let's do this. So we talk about fuel when it comes to a narcissist, and that fuel is what energizes that narcissist like a battery. And with a battery, eventually if you have those rechargeable batteries, you have to keep recharging that battery. Well, that's the same thing with a narcissist. They have to keep getting recharged, refueled, and eventually it gets to a point where they need copious amounts of fuel. They need a lot of energy to fuel them. And so a lot of times, and I said this in other videos, they're with you and they're with you to a point where they're abusing you so much that your tolerance level gets higher and higher and higher for the level of abuse that you are enduring. Well, with that, it means that they're getting copious amounts of fuel from you. Now, check this out. Have you guys ever seen a chihuahua? I used to have a chihuahua. You guys that have little dogs. Little dogs are bold. My chihuahua was bold. My chihuahua didn't realize that he was as little as he was. And he used to bark and the thing is that my chihuahua or little dogs, they're fueled off of the fact that they're getting a reaction. So they get reaction from people that don't like dogs or they're afraid of dogs in general. You're actually fueling that little chihuahua, making that little chihuahua feel empowered. So that makes them bold enough to keep going after big things until a big thing goes after them. And my chihuahua was the type that, you bark at him or you not bark at him, but he barks at you or he goes after big things until that big thing comes back and goes after him. And when that big thing turns around and goes after him, you see it on TikTok videos and bark back or chases him, he runs. No, you were bold just a minute ago with your little self. You were barking and you were loud and you were aggressive until that person turned around or that thing turned around and went after you. And all of a sudden now it's bark, 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 like you, and it sounds as if, don't do him like that. No, but he was bold enough to bark at you. And as long as he was barking at that thing and it was fueling him, it made him more aggressive. It made him more bold. And that's the same way a narcissist is when they're connecting or when they're trying to attach to a supply. Is that they are aggressive at their pursuit of you. They're aggressive at being in control. They're aggressive at making sure that you know that they're the dominant force. Even though they make you feel empowered, they make you feel like you're in control. They make you feel like, but that's only to get you, to get you in their grasp. And the thing about it is, the more you give into them, the more you are empowering them. The more you give into them, even when it comes to compliments, even when it comes to praises and remember, they need a lot of affirmation. They need a lot of praise. They need a lot of attention, where it's to a point where you get to a point where it starts draining you. Like, no person needs this doggone much affirmation and attention, and it's like they drain you because they need more and more from you. And when you stop, they become aggressive. So they become aggressive to a point where, now you feel obligated to give them what it is that they're trying to force from you in the first place. But this is what empowers that narcissist. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that there are narcissists that also have antisocial personality disorder. So they have a high level of psychopathy and sociopathy. Sociopathy. That's what it is. Sociopathy and psychopathy. So you do have those narcissists that have psychopathy and sociopathy, meaning psychopaths and sociopaths. It's already bad enough that a narcissist has no emotional empathy. And you guys like, yes, they do. No, they have cognitive empathy. They understand how emotions work, so they know how to manipulate those emotions to get what they want. Those are emotional leeches, emotional vampires. But when you're talking about an individual that also has is a psychopath or sociopath, meaning that they are in the antisocial personality disordered as well within the cluster B, those are the most dangerous narcissists. Those are the ones you'll find in prison as well. But those are the most dangerous narcissists because they have no conscience. They lack conscience. They lack empathy. They lack sympathy. They can do things and have no thought about it. You guys go watch I'll think of it. I'll put it in the comments section, but it's on I think it's on Netflix or it's on the ID channel. and it talks about psychopaths. And it is amazing when you look at these psychopaths that they have absolutely no, it's all about them. So that lets you know that they also have narcissistic personality disorder along with, the antisocial personality disorder and the psychopaths. Those are the ones, they have no feelings. They don't see anything wrong in what they've done. They reacted off of their own emotions, and it's all about me. It's how I felt. What about me? It's not about you. It's what about me? And you guys have to be careful, but they train you. They train you, and you train them at how much you're going to give them. And this is why they have such a stronghold in your life. This is why they have that trauma bond in your life, because you fed them that fuel. And once you fed them, you made them big and strong, but in actuality, they're really weak. They just go off of your weakness. They feed off of your weakness to appear they're stronger than what they really are. And the best way, understand this. You can't go in there fighting them with fire. You have to implement boundaries. And when you implement boundaries, that means if you cut them off, you cut them off. There is no middle ground with a narcissist. Especially those that are dangerous. There is no middle ground. There is no such thing as I'm just going to stay friends with them. We're better friends than lovers. If you they're black and white in their thinking. You have to be black and white with your responses. Once you cut them off, cut them off. Once you go no contact, is no contact in everything. Cut them off of your social media. Cut them out of your telephone. Block them. Go get a no contact order. Go find a domestic violence advocate and follow through with what you're going to do. There is no straddling the fence with them. When it comes to your emotions, you cannot react. You have to respond. And in your response, the decision that you make, stay with that decision. I don't care how hard it get you a mentor, get you a therapist, get you a coach, and you stick to that. Stick to that. No contact means no contact. When it comes to the children, instead of doing co-parenting, you're going to have to do parallel parenting. You're going to have to get the parenting app. You may have to go, when you work with those domestic violence advocates, those are the ones that put it on paper. Those are the ones that advocate for you in the court system. Those are the ones that make sure the law, when they get into the courtroom becomes the biggest playground, the biggest theater that you'll ever meet. Don't give them an inch, because they're going to take a mile. You say hello, they're going to take it beyond that, because it has nothing to do with the kids. I know this is a very painful fact that you're going to have to face. It has absolutely nothing to do with your children, but they play on your emotions because they know that you love your children. And so it becomes a matter of, I just want to see my child. I don't want to be involved with him or her. I just want to see my child. And I want to, and it's about the kids. And let me see my child. And I'm not trying to be with you. It has everything to do with you. And it has absolutely nothing to do with your children. You have to learn how is that cognitive dissonance. I know the facts. I know the truth. I know how they are, and it doesn't matter how many times I go back. They've proven to me. You've got track record. The problem that you struggle with is that your emotions become so strong that you let your emotions override logic and wisdom. And then you come up with an excuse, but they're still the father of my child. They're still the mother of my child. I don't want to seem like, and I don't want the kids. Sometimes you have to make decisions for your children that's going to save them in the long run. And you guys already know that they've given you a track record. You have to stick to your guns. Whatever it is that you make a decision in doing, no contact, you got to stick and you got to ride it out. You have to act like they don't exist, which they do. But you have to implement, instead of co-parenting, because you can't co-parent with a narcissist, you have to parallel parent. And there are classes out there, especially like with Judge Anthony Bompiani, that teaches you about parallel parenting. Get you the parenting app. Make sure you have, if you have to get a supervised visits, if you have to get someone to mediate in between to be a witness for you, you have to do what you have to do. There is no middle ground. It's black and then there's white. That's it. So when you respond, it has to be black or white. You cannot straddle the fence and decide, I'm going to let them back on social media so I can see what they do. They're watching everything to see whether they can get, a hook back into your mouth. Everything that they do when they love bomb, they're trying to find out where is their pockets where I can stick my claws in there and pull you back through. Stick to your guns. No contact means no contact. And you have to watch your emotions. Get you a therapist. Get someone that can help you and hold you accountable.